I want to talk a little bit about, like what happens after you experience, you know, your miracle or like your answered prayer, like one part of your answered prayer. Because I don't feel like it's talked nearly as much about, what happens after it, because I feel like we love talking about miracles and we celebrate the breakthroughs and the answered prayer and the moment that God can opens a door for you. But what happens after, right? Like what happens when you've left your version of Egypt, but you still haven't reached your promised land? Because I think that's where a lot of us just kind of find ourselves, right? Like usually God, when he answers, a prayer, it's never like the whole thing, right? Like that we obviously have way more than just one prayer, but sometimes he'll just answer one. And this is just kind of where I feel like I've been. We have been going through and reading Book of Exodus in my Bible studies. And yesterday's chapter 14, was just kind of really about that. And one of the things, that stood out to me is that God, he didn't take the Israelites straight from slavery into the promised land, right? Like there was a wilderness that was in between. There were transitions. They had a lot of moments where they just weren't sure, and seasons where they had enough for today, but they didn't really have like the clarity for the next week. And I relate to that, more than ever right now. And I feel like I've just been kind of going through a season recently that has just stretched me in so many ways that I wasn't expecting, because it wasn't just one hard thing. It was layers of uncertainty that stacked on top of each other. And I had to do this while trying to continue, to show up when navigating circumstances that I couldn't immediately change. And I was just having to learn how to function when life didn't look the way that I thought it would. And so I had reached a point, where I felt like I genuinely spiraled. And I had some really hard questions for God that I just desperately begged, like I wanted answers to. I wanted clarity. I wanted explanations and I wanted certainty from God. And I prayed and I cried and I asked God to please just reveal what he was doing. And then it was nothing. I didn't receive one dramatic revelation. I didn't receive an answer from him. I just went to bed, and the next morning, my circumstances still didn't change. But I did feel a shift in me because, I had realized that I couldn't continue living in a constant state of trying to control what only God could carry. Like I realized, like, okay, I surrender. I can't force clarity. I can't force outcomes and think my way into certainty. And so, you know, I had talked about this already before in my one of my last videos, but I surrendered. And it wasn't because I understood, it was literally because I was exhausted. And since then, what I have been learning after the surrender is that it wasn't the end of the story. Like sometimes when you go through, layers of surrender, it's literally the beginning of learning how to trust again. And I think that one of the hardest parts about following God, we know is that he doesn't give you the whole blueprint. And so in yesterday's chapter that we did in the Bible study, the Israelites, they basically found themselves just standing in front of the Red Sea, okay? And Pharaoh's army was just behind them. And I was just kind of like trying to really imagine that because they had already experienced, like a miraculous deliverance. And now here they are, again, just kind of facing something that seemed really impossible. And God, he didn't explain everything he was about to do. Like, all he did was he told them to just move forward. And that chapter was just a perfect representation of how God usually leads us, because he doesn't give us the whole picture, but he will show us, the next step that has to be faithful. And that is exactly what I've been trying to do, because I don't have everything figured out. I just sort of realized, like, okay, well, there's a difference between responsibility and control. And the responsibility part is like, all right, like, what has God placed in your hands today? You know? Like, what can you do? Because the control, all that's doing is it's demanding this certainty about tomorrow that I can't answer. But when I think more about the responsibility, I'm like, all right, well, here's what I know I can do. I can steward my health, right? I can continue to take care of my body. I can continue to do all of the things that I know make my brain feel good, my gut feel good. I can continue to show up. I can continue to, make videos here and create and talk about all of these things that I'm learning. And I can care for my family, right? And I can read my Bible, and I can pray, and try and exercise, and I can stay faithful in the things that I already know how to do, right? Like, I've reached this point in my life where I have a pretty good understanding of what I need to work on when it comes to, like, my discipline and my habits and my obedience, right? Like, I don't think I'm at this point in my life where I don't know what I need to do to, like, make myself feel better. But when I think about, like, the control part of me, um, the part that, like, made me spiral in the first place, that part was just basically saying, like, you need to know exactly how all of this is going to work out, or you're doomed. And, I just feel that, like, one of the greatest lessons that I've just been learning being in this wilderness season is I have had to just learn to release, the second part, which is the control part, while remaining faithful with the first part, which is taking that next step and doing what I already know I should be doing. And when I look back, at the things that I've had to learn and go through in this season, I genuinely can see that it wasn't wasted, you know? Because I think about, like, what it's been teaching me so far, and I'm like, all right, well, I probably wouldn't have developed the discipline that I have now in the same way as quickly if my life just hadn't forced me to become really intentional, especially being in this RV. Um, because I realize, like, there are a lot of things that I have to do on a daily basis in this RV that's just, totally different than life back home in Florida, right, where our house is. I wouldn't have started some of the things that I'm doing today if circumstances just didn't push me outside of my comfort zone. I wouldn't have discovered how resilient I actually was if I hadn't been stretched the way that I am now. And it's really important to remember that, especially because, it's very easy to assume that growth just happens once you arrive somewhere better. But sometimes the growth just happens because we don't have another option. Like, the wilderness, it genuinely changes you. And I think it's because God just knows, like, there are just some things that can genuinely only be learned there. It teaches you dependence, and it teaches you perseverance and gratitude and discipline, and it just teaches us that we are way more capable than we thought. And so maybe that's just, one of the most beautiful things that I've realized is that God's provision, it's not gonna look the way that I expect it to. And I think it's very easy to overlook his faithfulness because we're still waiting for the final destination. But provision isn't always permanence, Like sometimes it's transition. And that's just kind of where I've been right now. Like right now, we've had some more things. I don't want to share all the details just yet. I do think I will later on, but there's been more transition going on in my life. And I do genuinely believe it's God just saying, okay, I'm moving you forward now. New things are happening, new changes are happening, but we're not finished yet. And I will share all of the details. Um, but I do think there's a lot of people who are living in this space right now, where you've technically left Egypt, but you haven't arrived. And you might be grieving what was, because now you're like really uncertain about like, all right, what's next? And you're trying to like steward the in between, right? And you're trying to do it faithfully. And if that's you, I just want to encourage you with a few things that I'm learning myself. The first thing is to not let the absence of clarity convince you that God's absent, because there are moments when you're going to be going through it where the control part of you, or the anxious part of you, or whatever part of you that's going through like the really hard moments in your life, it's going to try and tell you that God is absent. The second thing too is to really focus on the next faithful step instead of just demanding the entire plan. Like, this is genuinely helping me shorten the distance between spiral and truth, because when I had that moment of surrender, I just sort of broke down, and I was like, okay, like I surrender. I don't know the entire plan and I cannot demand it. I genuinely tried demanding the entire plan from God himself, and he didn't give it to me. So it was a humbling moment where I was like, all right, so what can I do? I can focus on the next step. And then, what I also did, and this is the third thing, is to just really pay attention to what this season is producing in you. Because after I had that moment, where I spiraled, and my vision, my fear was so narrow that I couldn't see what it was producing in me. I was genuinely just focusing on all of the bad things. But then afterwards, probably because I released the weight that I was carrying through my tears and in prayer, my perspective did widen. And I genuinely started to sit back and just sort of reflect, oh, like this has taught me a lot. Being in this RV space here in Texas has taught me things that I wouldn't have been able, to have had produced in me when I was back home in Florida in our house. That's got all the space. It's got everything. All of my stuff is there. I'm very comfortable in my house. And if I hadn't been here in Texas, in this place that's not ours, with all of the, this new routine and new, ways to try and keep this house in order, because there's 4 of us in this tiny space, I wouldn't have produced the things that I have now. Honestly, the 2 months that we have been here, I have been like more stretched, I would say, within like more than like the last 6 months. And so then I was like really thinking like, all right, like what is God teaching me? Like how is he shaping me? What strengths is he developing in me that I genuinely didn't know I had? And it really helped me remember that, oh, this season, it's not wasted. Like in hindsight, I'm like, this isn't punishment. This is preparation. And one day we'll really be able to just look back and realize that what truly felt like surviving was actually becoming. And I don't have all the answers yet. I don't know exactly, how every piece of my story is going to unfold, but I do know that God has been faithful before. And I do believe that he will be faithful again. So for now, all I can do is just take that next faithful step. I'm going to continue to show up. I'm going to continue to steward what's in front of me. And I'm going to continue to just learn how to trust that even when I can't see what God is doing, he's still working. And I've just kind of come to learn like that's all faith really is. Not having every answer, but you just continue to walk forward anyway, because what else can you do? Because spiraling, I tried that. Demanding answers, I tried that. And it didn't work. And so if you're in a season where you feel like you've left Egypt, but you haven't really reached the promised land yet, I just want you to know that you don't have to walk through it alone. Because I'm literally right there. The same way that there was like probably 1 million people walking through the Red Sea, headed to the promised land, like I'm right there with you. We're walking right alongside each other. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts. I don't really have like a good way to conclude this, but if you have been enjoying these conversations, and studying scripture with me, I do host live Bible studies Monday through Thursday where we just walk through the Bible chapter by chapter, and we just talk about, each chapter and what it means to follow God in real life. I do also have membership options where I just share, weekly structured teachings that are designed to help you grow in your understanding, of scripture and your relationship with God. And I just been sharing everything that I've been learning. Members also get access to our Friday live sessions, where we study scripture in just a different way, where we are now doing more deep dives on the people in the Bible. But if you are someone who is navigating a particularly difficult season and you do feel like you need more individualized support, I do offer one-on-one faith-based sessions. These are private sessions that are for anybody who might be feeling stuck or overwhelmed or just not certain, or maybe you just, I don't know, need someone who, to walk alongside you as you just process, what you're experiencing, in a real life way, but also from like a faith-centered lens. So, if you're wrestling with identity or anxiety or relationships, overthinking, or maybe you're trying to discern, what God is doing in your life, the conversations are just, designed to help you move forward, hopefully with just more, clarity and self-awareness and compassion. Everything is linked below if you want to learn more, but I thank you for being here and just allowing me to share this journey with you, even while I'm still in the middle of it. Because if this season has taught me anything, truly, it's that God is just as present in the transition as he is in the destination. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.